What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. And this one I'm going to be showing you how to make a skyscraper. This is the second installment of Skyscraper. And yeah, I tried to go with something a little bit more red. I actually made this like, honestly, it's probably been a year. And I wasn't sure I enjoyed how it looked. So I sat on this for the longest time. And as you can see, I finally got around to recording it. Yeah, I have no other skyscrapers ready in that year. I know I've been slacking. But anyway, that is all. So with that being said, enjoy the tutorial. I'll show you the interior space real quick. Oh my god, and I will catch you on the flip side. Here are all the materials you'll be needing for this build. Not a crazy amount, honestly. Alright, yeah, and the space beneath this is a 49 by 49. Good chance a lot of these will be squared, not all of them, because one, I'm prone to make mistakes, and two, I do plan to have some long ones, assuming I actually get around to making more. And the materials we're needing to start off are smooth quartz blocks, stone bricks, stripped mangrove wood. You could probably get away with using logs, but meh. Gray concrete, blue stained glass panes, polished deep slate stairs, blue stained glass blocks, mangrove door, and tough brick walls. So as per you, or as for the first one with this, I'm going to be showing you how to build 2 floors, and then the second floor is just rinse repeat until the end of time, or however how you want to go. Starting from the front left-hand corner of your 49 by 49 grid, cough if you made it. If you want to start from the front right, you can. You want to start by counting back diagonally right, and you'll place an upward-facing strip mangrove wood. Extend right with 2 smooth quartz, then back diagonally right with a stone brick. Then you want to go right by 17? Yes, that is correct. 17. Forward with a strip mangrove wood. Forward diagonally right with a gray concrete. Back diagonally right with a blue stained glass block. Right with a mangrove door. Right with another blue glass. Forward diagonally right with a gray concrete. Back diagonally right with a strip mangrove wood. Back with a stone brick, and then extend that stone brick to the right by 16. I apologize, 17, so just add one more. I said 17 in my brain. I was like, yes, it's going to be the same, and then I just said a different number. You'll go forward diagonally right from there with a smooth quartz. Forward, right, and then right with a strip mangrove wood. That should be, if you have your grid, you'll be one off the front and one off the right side from that end portion. Let's build up the doorway because that's the only thing that's different, and then I actually want to mark the entire perimeter so we can just pretty much do all of it at once. Extend either gray concrete up by 3, and the top grays will connect together with polished deep slate stairs facing forward. You'll then bring either blue glass up by 2 and connect above the top of the door. So, take the right and left side and bring the end strip mangrove woods here back with 2 smooth quartz and then in with 1. From there, you'll go back diagonally in with a stone brick. And then back by what should be 40 on both sides. Yes. Loving my math is correct. Cool. You'll extend back diagonally out with a smooth quartz. Out 1, back 1, and then back with a strip mangrove wood. Then you'll go from there in with 2 smooth quartz, forward 1, forward diagonally in with a stone brick, and then you'll connect the stone bricks on either side together. Should be 39 in the center, so the total rows are 41, and that's the space. Again, if you want to shrink this by 1 like tile on each side, you can, Or you could alternatively shrink it by a couple on the sides and have the front be the same, but you'll see. I'll show you kind of what the deal with that will be. So from this point, on these stone brick rows, you want to take, really I'm going to say the stone brick starting from the corners and going in. And you want to take basically the 6th stone brick each time and place a strip mangrove wood in front of it. So you're leaving gaps of 5, and I have my grid so I can cheat a little bit here. But you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 6th, I'll place a mangrove. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 6th mangrove. And yeah, again, I'm going to just cheat because I have my grid, and I know that I did that correctly since I actually marked the grid rather than placing this whole line. I actually just like did the little zigzag pattern. So yeah. I'll give you a second since, again, I know I cheated. You can leave the corners alone where the smooth quartz are. I don't really care about those yet. But the rest of the strip mangrove you want to bring up by 3. Which will also include these ones like on either side of the front door. Those are, I guess, important. But yeah, I'll leave the corners alone since we'll kind of just bring those up later. Once it's logical. Are we going to have... We should. I'm thinking about inventory space. We're going to have to place the blackstone slabs later. But that's not really a huge deal. You should have this. Now, on each of these segments of 5, you're going to have a fun time. I'm just going to instruct this maybe twice. But it's really not hard. On either side of, these rows of 5, we're really just ignoring the stone bricks behind the strip mangrove. I just placed it because it was easier to do rather than being like, okay, diagonal, just rambling all with that. Just take these rows of 5 stone brick you can see, and the side ones you'll bring up with 3 gray concrete each. Connect at the top with polished cheap side stairs facing forward, and then just fill in the remainder of the center with blue stained glass panes. Probably shouldn't need to reiterate that, but if I need to, just in case, 3 gray concrete on top of either side. Polished deep side stairs connecting the tops together in the center that face forward, and then blue stained glass panes to fill in the remainder of the gap. And yeah, do this on around the whole side. Now, or the whole building. If you are in a situation where you're making a city with a lot of skyscrapers, and you have this next to another one, whatever side that is, you can do 2 things with, actually. If you're directly against it, just don't make the side. You don't have to, so there's no point. However, if you have a little bit of space and you have like an alleyway, just replace all the black stained glass panes with, or blue stained glass panes, sorry. I'm going to say with tough brick walls. You can play around with it, whatever you think makes the most sense. You could even just make the full wall gray concrete, just flatten it, remove all the detail. When I was doing them in Let's Build a City, which is so dead right now, I was just kind of replacing the windows with wall blocks or having them embedded the same way. And still have that pattern, but I actually do think just making it flat would probably make more sense, and it would also save you the effort. But up to you. It's not really, is that hold on, I might have used polished andesite, actually. I don't think I did. It looks like from my angle it is, but I'm pretty sure it's still stone bricks. It just, like, the angle is throwing me off. Who knows? It's for the next floor anyway, so I really don't care. Anyway, gosh, this takes a while. Yeah, I do apologize. These are going to be like that, where you just have to kind of drag your way through them. But, I makes the skyscrapers so different than anything else that I make. I really go a lot more detailed with them, which, again, in situations like this, does make it a little bit more time-consuming. But, I'm used to these long tutorials, though, at this point. Seems like every couple of days, I'm just, every little while I have an hour-long tutorial that I'm just casually recording. Although, to be fair, I really don't go that close to an hour a lot of the time. Anyway. Almost there, I think. 3 more windows? Yeah, looking at the other side, it should be 3. Well, 2 after this one. Yep. Cool. And after that agonizing process, you should end up with this. Looks pretty good, in my opinion. The smooth quartz and strip mangrove on the like corners now you can bring up by 3 at this point. I was thinking about just waiting and bringing this up more, but whatever. It's just going to be easier to explain the step that we need to do next with having everything brought up evenly. Oh, brother, though, this step is a fun one. You'll see why I'm saying that. It's something else for sure. La 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 la. Like so. Okay, so what I want you to do is get rid of your... Okay, yeah, it is still stone bricks, I had to check. Get rid of your mangrove door and get out red concrete. And you want to just place a red concrete on top of each top block, which is going to be your smooth quartz, your gray concrete, your polished cheapside stairs, and your strip mangrove wood. We're going to have to bring this out, but I think it's smarter to leave it now and bring it out later so we can kind of see exactly where the layout is, where we need to do the second floor. I don't know why I'm leaving the gaps, but whatever. I guess it doesn't matter, because it's not quite the same. This floor is a bit different. Whoopsies. I just almost autopiloted and was filling with the correct block, and that's not quite what I'm supposed to be doing. Anyway, let me know if you guys want more skyscrapers or what the deal is, if you prefer them, if you like them kind of every once in a while. I've been kind of veering away from the houses, other than backrooms is just getting me into building suburban houses every 5 seconds. Anyway, you should end up with this. You kind of sort of want to copy the previous layout. Now, strip mangrove and smooth quartz are just where they are. You'll just place that on top of the red. Just one row for now to make our lives easier. Well, not really easier, but the rows of 5 are where things get a little bit strange. Still not, oopsies. Still nothing like insane. It's not like I'm reinventing the wheel. That doesn't really mean it's complicated. Revolutionary, but not complicated. And sure as hell is not revolutionary. Revolutionary is the last thing it is. Anywho, it should look like this. Now, with each of those rows of 5, you want to... Basically, on either side, you want gray concrete extending up by 5 on both sides of the, ironically, the rows of 5. And then just at the bottom center, you'll place stone bricks for the middle 3. And do this step for now. I'm going to place all the gray and then all the stone bricks. Is that quicker? I don't know. Also, make sure you do the like front center section that sticks out a little bit where the door is. That is included in all this mayhem and chaos. But yeah. Anything else exciting for me to share? Not particularly. See, I never like know what I can technically say about tutorials because like I don't know when this is getting posted, so I can't really be like, oh yeah, here's something new coming up soon, because it'll either, like, I'll try to judge it and I'll be off, or it'll have already released, which I guess is still technically being off. But, yeah. I'm at the point right now where I'm getting close to Batum Chapter 2. I'll probably start that next week, I think. That seems correct. I'm not really looking forward to that one, to be honest. Not that it's a bad build, it's long. Surely it won't be 31 parts, though. I mean, if the first chapter was... What's the first chapter? 12, I want to say? It'll be more than, like, 20, hopefully. I don't know. There's not really any big rooms from what I remember. But, alright. That's cool. It's fine, just bark. You know. I wasn't focusing or anything. Anyway, yeah, then I'll place the stone bricks. I'm gonna assume it's mail or something. You've got mail. Alright, really? You still barking? No? Alright. This is what I deal with. Not that it's that bad. Sometimes it's just like, alright, really? Every once in a while, Bailey will bark at like 8 in the morning, and it wakes me up, and I'm just disappointed, really. Could have had an extra 2 hours of sleep, but no, you decided to bark. Anyway, you should have this. You can bring the strip mangrove and smooth course up now if you want. I'm actually going to wait, and what I'm going to do instead is tell you how to fill in the middle of the windows. It's basically the same as the bottom, just you have a row of tough brick walls at the bottom. So on top of the stone bricks, you'll place tough brick walls, 2 rows of blue stained glass panes, and then a row of polished cheapside stairs, and that should give you that. It looks a little weird right now, but it'll work itself out, trust me. The center front one you want to leave open, though, because that's different. I completely forgot about that. I'm sorry. Can't even lie. And I'll do side at a time, and I'll do like this. But yeah, all the other ones, I really just thought that was going to be the center. So close. Like, the center on the left, right, and back doesn't matter. Just the front center, because it's the only one that has anything weird going on. Should have done something on all sides. Would have been cool. How does that? Oh, never mind, right? Because it doesn't stick further out than the smooth course. I was like, why doesn't that make the grid off from being a square? The only thing I remember from the last skyscraper tutorial is that I remember that I realized I didn't actually make it a square like I meant to. The only thing I remember, nothing else. I remember that it was a skyscraper, and I remember how it looks, but I don't remember much about it other than just that one little catastrophic failure. It happens. A lot. Not really. I mean, hey, I'm 1 for 2, which is not great, actually. That's real bad. 1 for 2 on doing it correctly is not something to brag about. At least I'm not 0 for 2. Really, it really could be worse. It can always be worse, unless you're 0 for something, then it can't be. Well, I guess it still could be. You could be 0 for 10 as opposed to 0 for 9. It's always a higher number. If you somehow get to 0 for infinity, that's just, there's no hope. The prospect of that is funny to me, actually. The fact that you had infinite chances and couldn't get a single one right. It's rough. It shouldn't be funny, but it kind of is. How do you blunder that many times? Does seem like something I do. Also, if you're a Bedrock player and your walls start being weird, I'm not going to be able to recreate it because it seems like it kind of just does whatever it wants to do. But sometimes it'll just, like, not connect properly to the side or something. Just, like, place a block off a side of it and break it, or break and replace the wall itself. I know, especially with panes and stuff, it'll get weird. But it doesn't seem like it's giving me an issue, so. Anyway, you should have this. And then you'll bring up the smooth quartz and strip mangrove by 4 to bring it up to the same height. This floor is ever so slightly larger than the first one, and you'll see why in a bit. But yeah. And then we can do a couple minor details, and then we'll be ready to structure block. If you want to use structure block. If not, just it's rinse, repeat, really. Until you reach your satisfied destination. Is destination the right word? Technically it works, it doesn't feel right to me. I don't know how to explain it. Oh yeah, we gotta do this front center. I'm gonna forget. I'm definitely gonna forget. Actually, if I ramble for long enough about me needing to do the front center, I'll be done this part, and then I'll be still talking about it, so then I'll just go right into it. It'll actually be a really good, transition point for me. There's a word, and I just don't know what it is. Anyway, you should have this. Now, if you head to the front center, because I'm gonna forget if I don't do it right now, place the polished sheepside stairs at the top, just like you did before. However, in the center 3x3, you want to place a row of blue stained glass panes down the left and the right, and a row of blue stained glass blocks down the center. Like so. Next up, I'm going to tell you to place the red concrete on top of this level again. This one we're going to skip a step for, though, and I'll explain why in a brief bit of time. Not yet, though. It's not important yet. We're not skipping the next step either. I'll tell you which one it is. if you're building this whole thing by hand and not using a structure block like I am advising, then you can... It's probably smart to not bring out the red concrete again, because that's what we're going to do next. And just, again, so you know where that layout is. It's pretty easy to figure out either way, but it's just a little bit easier that way, having it flat. You want to bring each red concrete on both of those layers out on each side by one. Now, when you do this, you want to make sure you basically add the extra blocks in the corner. So rather than you see here, rather than going like this, I'm going to, you know, hit the side, come out, and then go around. And basically, yeah, there's no diagonal connections. It's all right angles and stuff going around. This is kind of annoying to place. I can't even lie. It's very, very squiggly. But I think it looks good. And the front center is another part where this gets strange. And I'll show you what it should look like once I get there. Fortunately, I decided to go the opposite way, so I'm not getting there anytime soon. But again, if you just follow the kind of path, it should be correct, because there's nothing strange going on. It's just like the way that it adds up is odd, or lines up is odd, rather. So you see here, I'll go out, in, I guess forward, in, forward, and then across, and then, you know. You kind of just have like one strange diagonal that exists. But yeah, there is one layer done. And you want to do that again. That hurt my hand, I'm not going to lie. It's not really... It's not the best feeling thing I've done in this game. I don't think anything that requires a lot of mouse clicking and dragging is good on your wrist, though, to be honest. That's a sacrifice I'm maybe willing to make. I say that now, and in 15 years from now, I will not be saying that. I shouldn't have played all that Minecraft. I feel like controllers are better for some reason than like keyboard and mouse. But I think it's something to do with the orientation of your wrist. Like, your wrist is technically supposed to be... If you lay your hand, or if you rest your hand like on your pinky kind of and have it standing up, that's how your wrist is supposed to be oriented. So having it like bent the other way is, I think, what the problem is. That's what I was at least told by one of my teachers in high school, who had like one of the ergonomic mice, whatever, which was kind of cool. Very interesting. Anyway, you should have this. Get rid of, I don't really care, just something, and get out black stone slabs. I got rid of the tough brick walls. And just on top of each red concrete, for only this bottom strip, you don't need to do the top strip. You want to just place black stone slabs and all these overhanging guys. The reason we don't do the top one here is because for the structure blocking, you don't need to. And also, if you're, again, not structure blocking, you don't want to place like where the walls are going to be situated, because that's just going to cause you more problems. But yeah. This is a little bit easier, at least, than the red. Since I can just place off of the red. Ah. I always like making things detailed like this with the like pillars and stuff always looks nice, but while building it, or while doing a tutorial for it, it's such a regret. Like, oh, why? You know, so much more tedious than just a flat wall. But hey, content is content. As I've mentioned, I don't really think about tutorials when I'm building these things very often. I just try to make them look good, and then worry about, or face the consequences of my actions later. That's going to be the Best Buy refresh. Anyway, it should look like this. Now, from this point, it's structure blocking time. You want to find the corresponding corner. So I'm just going to clear my inventory here, actually, and if you do not know how to get at a structure block, it is /give at @structure_block. Right there. And I have one, so I don't need to do all that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just place the blackstone, or the structure block, on one of the blackstone slab corners. And you'll see that it's not pointed the right direction. You kind of want to make sure that the cube is going towards your build in every angle. So I'm correct that it's on the front. It's just the opposite front corner, which should be this one. And so the numbers you need to type in, I already have these for you. The X will be 49, the Z will also be 49, and the Y should just be 6, I think. Yeah, and it'll look like this. Now, name this whatever you want in the little, the thing where it's a structure name. I'm just going to name it G, and then you can press save down here, where the button that is currently highlighted green. Get out, I'm going to get out a placeholder block, which I'll just use oak planks. And I'm also actually, you can if you want, well, I'll explain that in a sec. Still in the front right hand corner, just above this red, you're going to place a placeholder block, your structure block, and then go into load mode and type G, and then you'll want to load it like this. If you are lazy like I am, you can actually, if you're on PC, do control data or control block pick, and you'll get the structure block that says plus data. And if you get out redstone blocks, you can just kind of rapid fire place your block on the corner of your placeholder, then the structure block, crouch and place a redstone block off the side, and then you just have to remove the redstone and structure block. And it'll automatically load it for you. Redstone blocks do trigger structure blocks. Fun fact of the day. It also triggers if you have it like in save mode, so it'll save the file. And you want to go to your designated height. I would honestly get like, however high you think. I'll give you the floor number in a sec that I have, but I'm just going to look over there and see. Maybe like this is a good point where you'd be like, okay, just kind of take a check and see. But I like it taller because I think it makes more sense to have it taller rather than more so square with how wide it is. That does cause problems. And I think it's one more after this one? Yes. So this guy right here. And then I'll go down and I can see how many floors I have. And in total I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I have 16 floors on my skyscraper here. If you don't want to do the same number, you don't have to. It doesn't really matter a ton. What you can do now is, I didn't have these on the inventory set, but you do need mangrove planks, because you can just make them out of slabs, and it's not that many. You also need mangrove slabs and blue concrete and blackstone slabs, since we don't have the top ones in with the way we structure blocked it. So from the top, you want to place your blackstone slabs around the perimeter of this top row of red concrete the same way that we did before. You want to make sure you only place it on the outermost blocks and just like these kind of corners here to connect everything a little bit better. Same way that we extended the red concrete out. Basically, if you're familiar, only be the reds that are sticking over the perimeter that you're placing these slabs on top of. But that's kind of a really weird way to explain it. It's more so just, what I said before. Publix looks so far down. That's funny. It's way down there. Alright, perfect. Just where I wanted it. Almost there. Yeah, this is certainly a little bit high. Just a tiny bit. And you should have this. If you want to make the top glass, you can. That requires a little bit more of a step, though, because for me, I'm just going to fill the entire roof here in line with the blackstone slabs and with blue concrete. There are two things I want to point out here. The little notches here, like where the strip mangrove wood pillars are, you want to actually leave open. Only those boxes. So, like, this should be blue, and then also the row behind. However, what I'm actually going to do, and this is, I guess, point 2, you can slash fill the main square of this. So if you basically take this kind of block here, you should have this opening that just leads all the way down. You can copy the coordinate here, which I just use Control-Alt-C and go to the opposite corner. And then if you do, as long as you're standing in the right block, you do slash fill the coordinate, throw it in, then 3 tildes, blue underscore concrete, and I always like to throw in keep just to make sure I didn't accidentally screw something up. And then these little squares on the corners will also fill in with blue, but again, you want to leave those notches open. Like so. The notches create a very annoying next step for you. Like so. In each of them, you want to place a mangrove plank with a slab on top. You can probably guess where this is going. Maybe. Just give me a minute to do that. So many blocks. And then from this point, you'll basically bring each row of slabs just straight across the top of the blue, and they should connect to the opposite side. And they will also create this, like, grid pattern, which isn't really important. I guess that's actually the whole point of doing this, is to create the grid pattern. If you wanted it glass, this is where the weird part comes in. You'd probably want all of the blocks under the, oopsies, all the blocks under the mangrove slabs to be planks that are mangrove, and then the rest of the blue could just be glass. But yeah, I'm going to do all of one side here, and then for the other side, it's going to be a bit annoying, but I guess I'm going to just bring each one, you know, a line at a time. Is the moon really making my screen dimmer? That's stupid. Why do you do that? You're not even that bright. You're not the one that lights the sky. It's the other one. That's you over there. You're the one that lights the sky. Whatever. What do I know anyway? I need to stop making them blanks. But yeah, once you're done that, that's it. If you don't want to, you know, stay for the outro or whatever, that would be your skyscraper done. No more steps. Anything fun for me to mention at this point in the video? No, not really. I don't think so. I know you'll be seeing this after Christmas for sure, but I'm at that point where I'm trying to decide if I want to do a special Christmas tutorial this year. I got nothing ready. So yeah, I'll probably post a display video, which you would have seen by now, definitely. That's the only thing I've got. Might just do that. It'd be a short one though, which I'm kind of like, eh. Do I really want to just make that the only Christmas video? I guess, yeah, actually that makes enough sense. At least to me. Anyway, once you're done that, ladies and gentlemen, that is your skyscraper, the second installment complete. I'll probably make more of these eventually, but not yet. Hope you can see the other one in the background from here. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys did enjoy this video, have a fantastic rest of your day or night, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.